All right, folks, welcome back to the TNT show. Today's offseason breakdown series. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, right off the top, the biggest thing to talk about for them is the fact that this is Aaron Rodgers' last season. So we're gonna touch on that a little bit, and then we'll get into our breakdown.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin's out. This is the first time that they could see the Steelers haven't had a under 500 season in 20 years.
Tomlin
Sure,
Magic.
they haven't been great his whole stint, but also you've never had a losing season. Been close.
Yeah, you gotta get, and this is you gotta give Mike Tomlin his flowers because after Ben Roethlisberger, they were
They
just
were garbage.
they never found another franchise guy, but he was still somehow above 500 every season, making the
Oh yeah, for
playoffs.
sure.
He
Yeah,
was he
Mason
was he was
Rudolph
he
and
winning playoff games? No, but he got there though, and he got there with uh Mason Rudolph.
yeah,
You got an old, washed up Russell Wilson, which by the way, he actually looked pretty good until they got to the playoffs, and then he was trash.
yeah.
You made Justin Fields look good for about 6 games. It's like I said. You're right though. I think we could. There's a possibility that they might not have a great season. New coach again with that division. The division is still Baltimore's still there. The Browns, I don't really feel like they got a ton better, but they're still an up and coming team to a degree. I'm missing somebody. The Texans? No, it's not the Texans. It's
They got Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Cleveland's in there.
that's who it is, Cincinnati. Cincinnati's going to be pretty much healthy. As long as they stay healthy next season, they're basically a contending team because they still have one of the best wideouts. They just need to work on their defense, but that's besides the point. I think again, like I said, based on that schedule, which we'll get into here in a bit, I think it's a real possibility that they could have a losing season this year.
I don't know. On paper, they should be pretty good. They brought in Michael Pittman.
They got
They
DK.
already have DK.
They drafted Jeremy Bernard. Just got to point that out there. Roll Tide.
Yeah. Their tight ends are pretty decent, and they got 3 pretty good ones. With Pat Freiermuth and Darnell Washington. They have Robert Tonyan too. I don't know how much he plays.
Yeah, the tight end room is pretty good.
So, yeah, they should be pretty decent.
I think that all hinges on how well Aaron Rodgers plays, which is crazy to say because yes, he's going to retire at the end of the season. So, are you really giving it your all, or are you just kind of like giving what you got left in the tank?
I think he's going to put it all out here. I would imagine. This is it. You're already a Hall of Famer. That nothing is going to change that.
So, let me ask you this: if he's not playing well, do you just go ahead and bench him?
Where are we? Like, what am I? Like, what's our record here?
Let's say we're halfway through the season and we're under 500 by like 3 games, but he's not playing well. Do you go ahead and bench him for one of the other young guys, or do you just let him ride it out?
Is there a chance we could turn the table here, or no? Like, we're too far gone. Because if there's a chance, I think you got to ride him out. But if you've won like 4 games and we're like 10 weeks in, yeah, probably.
Honestly, I think it could go either way. I think you could either let him ride it out and see if he can turn it around, and then maybe give him like let's say three more games after that, and see where it goes, and then consider benching him. Or you can just go ahead and bench him for one of the young guys and say, "Hey, man, look, you retire at the end of the season. You're already a Hall of Famer, but we're just gonna let one of the young guys take over because
we got to figure out what direction we want to go."
Yeah, no disrespect to you, but this is not working, and we got to see where we feel like we can go. So we're gonna see if we can juice up this offense. If that is the conversation, because we don't really know what Aaron Rodgers is gonna look like next season.
They're not benching Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry. I don't think they would do it.
Well, I mean, Mike McCarthy is his coach, and I doubt he would do Aaron
The
Rodgers
only
like
way
that.
they would do that is if they were like 2-10. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we don't have a choice.
I mean,
I've got
if you're a fringe playoff team and he's not playing well, it's worth at least taking a look at one of those other quarterbacks. I'm just
You
saying.
never know. You never know.
You never really know.
I guess it just depends. Like, okay, according to their depth chart, Mason Rudolph is the backup quarterback.
I forgot he was still there.
So, well, to be fair, I mean, you kind of said it earlier. I mean, he was good enough to get you to the playoff. He ain't gonna win you a lot of games, but he can win you some.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, he may have CTE from getting. he ain't got to worry about Miles Garrett anymore.
True.
But I mean, they drafted Drew Aller. They already have Will Howard, so I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's probably a tough conversation. I think if they're winning games and there's a chance, you're not putting him on the bench. But if you're too far gone, now let's say you've won like 4 or 5 games and we're in week like 14, 13. Okay, you're not making the playoff. If there's a chance that if you're not making the playoffs regardless, what's the point? You might as well. I think that's the way I would look at it. Like if you're like there's no chance you're making the playoffs if you've won 6 games. Okay. Yeah. Let's put somebody else out here and let's see what no disrespect to Mason Rudolph. I don't mean this in any disrespect, but you got to see if Will Howard or Drew Aller even have a chance. Mason Rudolph's been in the league long enough.
It's just too many scenarios to how that would shake out. So that's gonna be one of those. It's gonna have
That's
to
the
play
only
out.
way they're benching it is if they're too far gone.
Yeah, I mean realistically, but
Like they're not making the playoffs. We just have to see what these other. Regardless, next season, Aaron Rodgers is not going to be your quarterback unless he just changes his mind. Which you don't know with him. You just don't know.
yeah,
Let's look at their schedule. So they open up against the Falcons. I think that'll be a dub because the Falcons don't know what they're doing. They don't even know who their starting quarterback is.
yeah, they got a lot they got to figure out going into
They
this.
got a lot
Now,
going on.
I'll be honest though, their offense is really good. It's just, I mean, that's going to hinge on again the quarterback situation, but not again, not going to jump too far into that.
Yeah, I think they beat the Falcons because it's who knows who their quarterback's going to be. It could be Michael Penix. It could be Tua.
Yeah, no, I
Um,
think they beat the Falcons too.
then they play the Patriots.
Hell,
These early week games, it's kind of hard to tell because you just don't really know. But yeah, I think that's the L for them. 1-1. So then they play the Bengals. I'll let you say this one. I think that's an L. But
I mean, you know, I probably feel differently, but I only say that because the Bengals defense is just, I feel like they're still not there. Um, Offensively, absolutely 100% yes, but I think that's a game that the Steelers can. Well, I'm gonna say 50-50, but I'm gonna give the Steelers a W in that game.
so then they play the Browns. Who knows what they're doing.
Definitely be a W. Should definitely be a W. So
That
that's
should
what
that should be a dub. Then they
three
play
and
the
2.
Colts.
Hmm.
I don't know what Daniel Jones looks like. I don't know if he's going to be ready to go.
So 4-1, 4-2, possibly.
Yeah, we'll say I don't know. Who's the backup quarterback for the Colts?
Anthony Richardson should be right, or
Ah,
no?
that's a great question. I don't. It's
I
a
don't
great
know.
question. I don't know. Then they play the Bucks.
No, I think that one's going to be an L.
Okay. And then they play the Saints in Paris.
That's definitely should be a
That
W
should
because
be a dub. I don't.
Saints
The
are not going
Saints.
to be good.
I don't know, man. That last. I don't want to get too far off track, but the Saints. That back end of the season, Tyler Shook was playing some pretty good football. He couldn't help his team suck.
I mean, that's good and all, but I don't think he makes that much of a leap next season. I think they're still going to be a pretty not that good football team.
So, then they play the Browns again.
I think
I think they
that'll be a
sweep the
sweep.
Browns.
Yeah.
They just
So we're
lost Miles Garrett. Plus, quarterback wise, who knows who's playing? Who knows who's playing?
so about 6-3, 6-2 sitting right now because you have the one different game. We only differed in one game so far.
And then they play the Bengals again.
I think they split. So 6-4, 6-3.
Okay, so at this point, Aaron Rodgers is still playing if they're 6-3 or 6-4.
Yeah, he should be doing pretty all right at this point.
So here's where it could turn disaster. Then they play the Eagles.
That's definitely more than likely probably going to be an L.
So who knows? I mean, they did lose AJ Brown, so we'll see. I don't know if it's going to matter that much because they didn't really throw the ball a whole lot anyway. But I think this is one of those games like this is where the tables could turn for Aaron Rodgers, depending on. So we'll see. So then they play. So they play the Eagles. We're gonna say that's an N. Then they play the Broncos.
That's probably definitely going to be an L.
I
Because
think that'll be
Broncos,
a pretty decent game because Pittsburgh does have a. You gotta remember, Pittsburgh does have a pretty good defense.
yeah, but the
So
Broncos have like a top two defense, and their offense actually got a lot better in the offseason.
yeah. So we'll say that's an N. That's back to back. So now they're 6-6.
Yeah, 6-6, 6-5.
So then they play the Texans.
Now that could be a pretty good game.
I think this is going to be one of those 50-50s because it's.
I'm a I'm
I'm
gonna give it to the Texans. So now they're under 500.
so now they're under 500. So then now they got to now they got to play Jacksonville.
I think they
So
can beat
I
Jacksonville.
think here is where maybe you're making that decision. Maybe. So then they play Jacksonville. Are they going to bounce back and beat Jacksonville?
I'm gonna say they beat Jacksonville. They get back to 500 off of that.
Okay, so then they play Baltimore.
I think they do beat Baltimore at least once because Baltimore chokes games. So now they're
Yeah,
a game above 500.
they practically play Baltimore back to back. So they play Baltimore, then they play the Panthers,
Panthers
and
should. Mm, I,
we're at the
I,
end of the season, so we're week like 16 here.
this could be crazy, but I think the Panthers could be pretty good next season. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna say if the Panthers are pretty good and they have to play their guys, then I think that's an L for the Steelers, and they're back at 500 again.
and then they play the Titans,
Definitely should be a W. Titans aren't gonna be that good next season.
and then they turn around and play the Ravens again.
Ooh, I think they finished the season at like
Depending on where Pittsburgh is, this could be for the division. They won the division last year at 10-7. So
so they could be like 10-8, 9-9.
it's close. Depends on it
Mm,
depends. They're gonna
I
be
don't even.
close.
I don't think they're gonna win the division next season. They won the division last year, did they not?
Yeah, at 10-7, yeah.
Yeah. See, they're not gonna win the division next year because you got to think there's gonna be a healthy Bengals team, and
Hopefully.
then there's. I don't know why I keep forgetting their division that fast.
Baltimore.
Yeah, there's gonna be a healthy Baltimore
Who
because
knows?
Lamar was hurt a lot last
Deshaun
year.
Watson could come out and take Cleveland to the Super
Yeah,
Bowl for all I
yeah.
know.
We're not even gonna. I'm not even gonna include Cleveland in the conversation. They're gonna have to include themselves in the conversation when the season rolls around. I don't even want to talk about
So
them.
who knows what they're doing. So I mean, yeah, this is a tough division. You got Baltimore.
I
Baltimore had an
I don't
underwhelming
know.
season last year.
I
You know,
think I think they're either going to
Everybody
be,
in this division has a new coach except for Cincinnati. So they
which
did
is
they
true.
did fire Mike Tomlin, so we'll see. Mike McCarthy doesn't have the best track record, so
So realistically, they're either going to be, I think, right at 500 to finish the season and not make the playoffs, or they're going to be like a game or two above 500, but they still won't make the playoffs because two of the other teams in their division are going to make the playoffs over them.
yeah, it'll be close. Like I said, now you have the. I think they're going to be too close to bench Aaron Rodgers unless they just suck.
Yeah, but see, that's the beauty of predictions, though, because I mean, we're guessing at all this, so we don't really know how this is going to play out. This is just us spitballing off of what we think and
Yeah, he
how
may he
last
may he
season
may
went.
come out week 4 and be like, "Yeah, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore."
Yeah, he could be one of those guys that retires in the middle of the game and just says,
Well, I don't
"Hey,
think
I'm
he would
done."
do that, but he might do it like mid-season. He might be like, "Hey, I just can't. I
Hey,
don't want
look,
to do this anymore."
he could come into like he could come into the preseason and just be like, "Hey, I quit. I'm retired."
Yeah, I mean, he really
He could pull
could.
Andrew
You see
Luck.
it all the time. And that would, yeah, because I think it's going to be curious to see like how Pittsburgh fans handle if they suck. Like, let's say they win like 4 games. It's a
Well,
possibility.
hey, at least you get a top. At least you get a top 3 pick.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess at that point, yeah. Then you can hope you can get a quarterback.
I mean, you could. I mean, Arch Manning. I mean, if he's not number one, I
But at
mean,
the same time, it's like you said earlier, at or when at which part of the season.
do you
Obviously,
make that
if he's
decision?
playing well, obviously they're not going to put him on the bench.
Of
But
course.
what if he is struggling and maybe you are winning games, but here's the way I look at it. And this may not be a good comparison, it probably isn't. But look at do you just maybe see for like a week or two?
I
Like
mean,
let's say they're struggling to win some games. Here's a great example. This might not be a great example, but I'll put it out there. Cleveland was a prime example last year. Like Dylan Gabriel wasn't playing great, but he wasn't playing necessarily terrible. Shador really wasn't doing any better. They weren't winning games. But do you just see if maybe somebody can spark something? Or do you need to be losing games? Because
honestly,
Pittsburgh does have a good defense. Pittsburgh's defense is going to be good enough to keep them in a lot of these games.
oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's like I said, it's a tough situation because if they're struggling to win these games, but they're winning, and he's not playing well, then I think you definitely want to see about the other quarterbacks, at least in some type of capacity, because I mean, it's a long, let's say it's like halfway through the season. You still got the whole back half of the season. And if your defense is out here putting up extra effort just to help y'all win football games, like it shouldn't be that hard
Because
on
their
you.
schedule isn't the worst I've seen so far.
Yeah, their schedule's actually not that bad. The Chargers was way worse than theirs.
Yeah, for sure. That week, they had like 6 weeks of just straight, like, just they could lose every one of them games. But like
Yeah.
theirs is kind of spread out, like 1, 2, 3. I think you're gonna know after that second game with the Bengals of where you are
Oh yeah, for sure.
because they're still 1, 2, 3, 4. So at week 8, you should be able to see like if they've won like 3 games
Hmm.
by week 8, they're probably not gonna turn it around unless they make a crazy run, which
Oh
they
yeah,
could.
highly
You
doubt
don't
it.
know, but I mean, let's say they've won 3 games. Let's just say that. I mean, on paper they're pretty good. Aaron Rodgers is going to be, unless he gets hurt, he played pretty good last year. He didn't play terrible. Um, yeah, it's just a decision of. It's like I said, no disrespect to Mason Rudolph, but playing him isn't going to do you any good. To be honest, what's that going to do? You need to see about these younger guys.
Yeah.
Mason Rudolph's been in the league long enough. If he was going to start, I think he would already have been. He's already had that chance.
Yeah, you kind of already know what his ceiling is. I mean, that doesn't really do you any good.
Great backup quarterback. Like I said, he can come in and win you a couple games.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, he had winning seasons and he made it to the playoffs.
Also, a different coach, though. So I felt like that was more
I
coach
think
and
that might
scheme than
play. I
anything.
think that might play a big factor. So you do have a Hall of Fame quarterback, so it's probably not really going to matter what Mike McCarthy's doing because I mean, it probably really ain't going to matter. So I guess we just wait and see. Like you said, I think they're going to be on that verge of they're either going to be slightly above 500 or right there, like right below it.
That's my best guess at it.
But yeah, that's basically all I got for Pittsburgh.
All right, well, that's going to do it for the Pittsburgh Steelers and the offseason breakdown series. So the next team we have up after this is a divisional opponent, the Baltimore Ravens. So y'all be on the lookout for that, and we'll catch you on the next episode.